Have you ever walked past an old, abandoned building and felt a shiver run down your spine? That feeling that you're not entirely alone. America is dotted with places like these, structures left to decay, but whose stories, and perhaps whose residents, have never truly left. Today, we're taking a journey to some of the most haunted, abandoned locations across the country. These aren't just empty buildings. They're time capsules of tragedy, mystery, and paranormal activity. From forgotten asylums to ghostly prisons, these are the places where the past refuses to die. So, turn down the lights, get comfortable, and prepare to explore the silent, watchful halls of America's most chilling, abandoned haunts. Our first stop takes us to the rolling hills of West Virginia, to a place once known as the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Opened in the mid-1800s, this massive stone structure was designed to be a sanctuary for the mentally ill, a place of healing and peace. It was built to house just 250 patients, offering them spacious rooms and compassionate care. But as the years went on, the asylum's noble purpose twisted into a nightmare. Overcrowding became rampant. By the 1950s, over 2,400 souls were crammed within its walls, living in deplorable conditions. Stories of neglect, horrific experimental treatments, and immense suffering began to seep out. The asylum finally closed its doors in 1994, but the immense pain experienced within its grounds seems to have left a permanent stain. Today, the asylum stands empty, but far from silent. It's considered one of the most active paranormal hotspots in the country. Visitors on ghost tours and paranormal investigators report a host of terrifying experiences. They hear disembodied screams echoing through the long, dark corridors. They see shadowy figures darting in and out of rooms, and objects moving on their own. One of the most frequently reported spirits is that of a young girl named Lily. It's said she lived and died within the asylum, and her playful but ghostly presence is often felt in her former ward. People leave toys for her, only to find them moved later. Another is the spirit of a soldier named James, who is often seen marching through the Civil War section of the building. The sheer volume of reported activity makes you wonder, are these just stories, or are the thousands of patients who suffered here still crying out from beyond the grave? Next, we travel to the infamous Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. When it opened in 1829, this place was a revolution in the world of criminal justice. It was the world's first true penitentiary, designed to inspire penitence, or true regret, in the hearts of convicts through strict isolation. Each prisoner was kept in solitary confinement. They ate alone, exercised alone in their own small yard, and when moved, a guard would cover their head with a hood so they couldn't see any other inmates. The silence and solitude were meant to force them to reflect on their crimes. But this constant isolation drove many inmates to insanity. The psychological torment was, for many, a punishment far worse than any physical hardship. The prison housed some of America's most notorious criminals, including the infamous gangster Al Capone, before it was finally abandoned in 1971. Now a crumbling ruin and a U.S. National Historic Landmark, Eastern State is a magnet for ghost hunters. The thick stone walls seem to hold the echoes of 142 years of misery. Visitors and staff frequently report hearing phantom footsteps pacing in empty cell blocks. The sound of echoing whispers and chilling, disembodied laughter are common occurrences. Cell Block 12 is known for a particularly menacing presence, where people report hearing cackling that seems to come from all around them. In Cell Block 4, shadowy figures are often seen darting down the hallway. One of the most famous sightings is in the guard tower, where a lonely figure is sometimes seen silhouetted against the sky, keeping a silent, eternal watch over the decaying prison. Is it the spirits of the tormented inmates, forever trapped in their solitary cells, or something else entirely? The eerie atmosphere is undeniable, a heavy blanket of sorrow that you can feel the moment you step inside. Let's head south to St. Augustine, Florida, to the old St. Augustine Lighthouse. Lighthouses have always been beacons of hope, guiding ships safely to shore. But this one has a darker side. The current tower was built in 1874 to replace an older one that fell into the sea. While it's a beautiful historic landmark by day, by night, It's known for its resident ghosts. The most famous story involves the daughters of Hezekiah Pitti, the superintendent who was overseeing the tower's construction. In 1873, his children were playing in a rail car used to transport building materials down to the water. The cart broke loose, plunged into the bay, and tragically, 2 of his daughters drowned. Ever since, visitors and keepers of the lighthouse have reported hearing the sounds of children playing and laughing late at night, long after the tourists have gone home. The ghostly activity isn't limited to the children. Many people have reported smelling phantom cigar smoke on the lighthouse steps, believed to be from a former keeper who enjoyed a good cigar. A tall, shadowy figure has also been seen peering down from the top of the tower, perhaps the spirit of a keeper still tending to his light. One of the most unsettling experiences is the feeling of being watched or even followed up the 219 steps to the top. The narrow, winding staircase can feel incredibly claustrophobic in the dark, and some have even reported a cold touch or a sudden shove from an unseen force. Whether it is the Pitti girls looking for a playmate or a lonely keeper on his eternal watch, the St. Augustine Lighthouse remains a hauntingly beautiful place where the past is always present. Our final destination is an entire town, Bodie, California. Nestled in the Sierra Nevada mountains, Bodie was once a bustling gold mining boom town. In the late 1870s, it had a population of nearly 10,000 people and a reputation for being one of the wildest, most lawless towns in the West. Saloons, gunfights, and robberies were commonplace. But like many boom towns, once the gold ran out, the people left. Bodie began its decline in the early 20th century and was a ghost town by the 1940s. What's unique about Bodie is that it's preserved in a state of arrested decay. Buildings are left just as they were, with tables still set for dinner and goods still on shop shelves. It's like the residents just vanished one day. This perfectly preserved ghost town comes with its own ghosts. Rangers and visitors have reported seeing the apparition of a woman staring out of a window in the Kane house. The spirit of a little girl, nicknamed the Angel of Bodie, is said to haunt the town cemetery after being accidentally killed by a miner's pickaxe. She's often heard laughing or crying among the tombstones. Perhaps the most famous legend of Bodie isn't about seeing a ghost, but about a curse. It's said that anyone who takes anything from the town, even a rock or a rusty nail, will be cursed with terrible luck. The park's museum has a collection of letters from people who have returned items they took, begging for forgiveness and hoping to break the curse. These letters detail misfortunes ranging from financial ruin to serious illness. Bodie serves as a powerful, eerie reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. From asylums and prisons to lighthouses and entire towns, these abandoned locations are more than just decaying structures. They are monuments to the lives that were lived and lost within them. The stories, the emotions, and the energies of the past seem to cling to these places, creating an atmosphere that is both fascinating and terrifying. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the powerful human history that these places hold. They remind us that even when the living are gone, their stories can haunt us forever. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into America's haunted, abandoned past. Which of these locations did you find the most chilling? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next spooky adventure. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring.